I can see a few people still joining us, but I think that's all right. Let's get started. So, firstly, I just want to say good morning to everybody online and welcome to the BGL Online Summit. This is a virtual event showcasing some of our RegTech 2025 sponsors. My name's Lily Williams. I'm the Partnerships Manager at BGL. And today's session, Help Your Clients Simplify Their SMSF Investing, is co-hosted by our friends at Self Wealth by Syfe. I'm pleased to introduce today's presenters. We've got Brendan, Head of Sales and Partnerships, and Roger, Relationship Manager at Self Wealth by Syfe. Self Wealth by Syfe has a clear mission to deliver the best and most reliable platform, tools and insights, empowering investors and intermediaries to achieve their goals. We do this by offering transparent brokerage, data feed integration, and by providing access to a dedicated support team for SMSF clients and intermediaries. Before we do get started with today's session, I'll just cover some general housekeeping. So for those of you online, the session is recorded. So this is emailed to you post-webinar, and it's also posted onto our YouTube channel. So if you miss anything, if you need to jump off early, or if you did come late, you can watch this at a later time. The Q&A function, this will be available throughout the webinar. So if you've got any questions that come to mind during the session, please pop them in the Q&A and we will have time for questions towards the end. So Brendan, I will hand it over to you to kick things off.
Thanks, Lily. Thanks for the introduction and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining the call. It's great to be with you all. We appreciate you taking the time out of what no doubt is a busy schedule. As Lily said, my name is Brendan Mutton. I'm the Head of Sales and Partnerships here at Self Wealth by Syfe. We've got a long-standing relationship with BGL and we're delighted to support their online webinar series. If I just work through our slides, a slide that's dear to my heart. I'm one of the responsible managers here on our license. Our disclaimer, just a reminder that this morning's session is of a general nature only, not intended as personal financial advice, recommendations. So please do your own research. And we hope to just present some factual information over the course of the next 45 minutes or so. A bit about your hosts. I'm joined by Roger. Roger is here. Roger's been with Self Wealth for nearly 4 years. He's one of our senior relationship managers. Roger manages relationships with our high-value customers, including a lot of SMSF trustees. Roger is an avid trader himself. He knows the platform like the back of his hand, or so he tells me, and he will go through a small demo of the Self Wealth platform a little bit later on and sort of show you some of his tips and tricks. Myself, I've been with Self Wealth for just under 7 years. I've actually had a great relationship with Ron and Daniel over the last sort of, well, too long, nearly 2 decades now, going back to my time at Macquarie Bank prior to joining Self Wealth. I sit on the leadership team here at Self Wealth, and Lily's given a bit of an introduction and overview about what we're about here at Self Wealth by Syfe. Just a quick run through of our agenda. We will cover some key points around our business. I'll then talk to the SMSF market and some of the opportunities that we see presenting. Talk around SMSF management and some ideas to help simplify that. A bit about Self Wealth, why our customers or investors choose us to help manage the direct equity portfolios for their SMSF portfolios and other account types. Roger, like I said, will give a quick demo of the Self Wealth platform, and then at the end we'll open it up for any Q&A that might come through in the chat. So to Lily's point, please post your questions, and Roger and I'll do our best at the end to cover those off for you. Just a bit about Self Wealth by Syfe. So we were founded back in 2012, and actually our relationship with BGL dates back to 2012. So Ron Lesh played a pivotal part in the founding of the Self Wealth business. We actually started out as a community or a peer-to-peer service where investors or like-minded individuals came into our platform to share ideas around trading. We didn't start off as a trading platform. In fact, we didn't launch our retail trading service until 2016. So for direct retail customers to trade on the ASX only. In late 2017, we actually IPO'd and listed our business. So Self-Wealth was listed on the ASX. Our ticker code was SWF. And we were on the ASX for quite a number of years until late, which I'll touch on shortly. In 2019, we actually launched a platform for advisors and other licensed intermediaries to help manage the direct equity portfolios of their clients. So Self-Wealth actually has two parts to our business, a direct or retail-facing platform and an advisor platform for any financial planning or licensed professionals who manage direct equity portfolios for their clients. In December 2020, we launched our US trading service, giving clients access to some of the larger exchanges, so the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, obviously helping with diversification away from just the Australian market, which is quite a small market in the global scale or size of things. In 2022, we added Hong Kong, so access to the Hong Kong exchange for a bit of different flavour or diversification again within client portfolios. And our most recent change in May of this year, Self-Wealth were acquired by SIFE. SIFE are a Singaporean company. We delisted from the ASX. We're now a privately held company. We're part of the SIFE group. Their head office in Singapore. They've got operations in Hong Kong and also India. And the Australian arm, Self-Wealth, will now spearhead the Australian part of their business into the Australian market. So it's quite an exciting time for us. The team hasn't changed. Great opportunity for new product, for new innovation, and SIFE are quite an advanced fintech company. Just a snapshot about our business, and this hopefully talks to some of our size and scale. We've now got 130,000, well, just a bit over 130,000 Australian investors, about $16 billion worth of funds under administration. That's across the whole SIFE group, including Australia and now Singapore. And on average, every day, about $60 million worth of trade value or turnover goes through our platform, which, like I said, talks to our robustness as a platform, our security. And like I said, we've been doing this now for the best part of 9 years. So the business has grown quite nicely through that time. I'd just like to sort of jump in now to a bit about the SMSF market. And no doubt a number of you participate in this market. We've hit a new record in terms of number of SMSFs across Australia. So these numbers are as at the March quarter, end of the March quarter, a touch over 646,000 SMSFs, which, as I said, is a record high. For the March quarter, there are sort of net 9,500 or so new entries or new SMSFs established. It's quite an eye-watering number in terms of the total number of assets that are now invested in SMSFs. It's a touch over $1 trillion, which is a large number in anyone's language. The top asset classes by value, i.e. dollars invested, remains consistent and has remained consistent for some time. So heavy exposure to Australian direct equities, which we like. International equities make up about a fifth of SMSF portfolios, and no surprise, cash and fixed interest, fixed income investments, about 16%. There's also been an increase in things like residential property, buying investment properties through SMSFs and other non-residential property, i.e. commercial property. And we're seeing an increase in things like crypto assets, where they're held directly and on both the ASX and the CBOE exchange. There's a raft of new crypto assets or crypto ETFs. So investors getting access into the crypto sphere through exchange traded funds. In terms of the total number of members, about 1.2 million SMSF members. It's kind of split nicely between males and females. And the average age of an SMSF investor, about 85% of SMSF members are over 45. However, we are seeing, and maybe you are as well in your practices, a growing demand for or amongst younger, sort of well-funded members. If you think younger couples, married couples coming together, they're bringing together their super balances, their superannuation guaranteed contributions being paid in, investment earnings quickly gets that SMSF value to a bit more scale and a cost-effective number. Obviously, there's a lot of noise in the market around what's the optimal value. ASIC, the regulator, have a view on how much you should start off an SMSF with, but we're seeing varying balances come through in terms of SMSF portfolios. And still, the main reason why people look to start or establish an SMSF is control, so control over the investments, and access to a wider range of asset classes and investments that might not always be available through an industry fund or a retail super plan. In terms of you or SMSF accountants, some of the statistics that have been sourced from Investment Trends, client bases remain sort of fairly consistent. 156 clients on average, and about 56 SMSFs. However, there is a rising demand within client base. 18% of clients have expressed an interest in establishing an SMSF for some of the reasons I touched on earlier. And in terms of business and revenues, about half of the accountants surveyed reported increased revenues from their SMSF clients. In particular, those that are more likely to have adopted tech adoption, so accelerated the tech adoption from within their platform, which I know is topical as part of this series, but also as we head into August with RegTech and some of the presentations you'll hear from the team at BGL. And also those that are more actively engaged with their client base, talking to their clients more frequently, putting out thought leadership pieces, content pieces, webinars like this, or client seminars. So tech adoption and client engagement are two of the main reasons for the increase in those revenue sources. On average, an accountant spends just over 9 hours per fund per annum on admin and compliance tasks. And the conversations that we're having and feedback again through various sources and other resources, accountants and advisors and other intermediaries for that matter are increasingly seeking support for enhanced automation and integration, i.e. things like data feeds into back office software like Simple Fund 360 and other ways to add automation into the workflow to bring those hours to serve down, increase efficiency and increase revenue and ideally profit back into the business. In terms of the opportunities in the SMSF space, there's quite a few listed here. There are obviously plenty more, but might just go through these 6 in a little bit of detail. So touched on automation and integration. SMSF administration and audit account for a growing share of accountant practice income or revenue. By adopting tech, thinking about ways to automate and integrate into back office systems, on average, we can save sort of about 6.5 hours per fund per annum. If more tasks are automated, that does a couple of things. It increases capacity to take on more clients, it reduces your cost to serve, and hopefully, in the long run, grow your revenue and the profitability of your business. In terms of technology, we have seen an increase in the number of accountants and firms adopt technology or SMSF software. It's about 80%, or 4 in 5 surveyed said they now use some form of technology. However, there's still an opportunity to increase and get that adoption higher from a tech perspective. Artificial intelligence or AI, and Lily, I know this is part of the agenda, I think, throughout RegTech. I've got 4 kids. I'm a boomer to my kids, but AI is something that I'm having to get my head around really quickly and understand a bit more about what it is and how it works. We're seeing a relatively low adoption still in this space across the industry. About half accountants have surveyed said that they are using some sort of AI to service their SMSF clients. It's an area that we're looking at here at Self Wealth by Scythe. What tools are available, what can we implement? I guess the flip side or the balance then is managing clients and also managing risk and compliance and staying making sure you're in line with the regulations. In terms of trustees' intention to establish an SMSF, like I said in one of my previous slides, about a fifth of super fund members surveyed have said that they have plans to set up an SMSF, with about 4 or 5% of those targeting that over the next 12 months. So an opportunity for your business and referral partners. Interestingly, prospective 2026 SMSF trustees are getting younger, on average 36 years of age, with an average balance of about 130K. So that kind of talks to the, I guess, the shifting trend in demographics of SMSF trustees. It's no longer retirees or pre-retirees. The age is getting younger. Starting balances are getting lower. And again, looking for a bit more control over their retirement savings and access to different investment opportunities. We've got a point here around referral relationships. So, just keep an eye or keep in mind referral partners or other centres of influence, i.e., you might be part of a multidisciplinary practice or might have external relationships with financial advisors or mortgage brokers with the rise in property being put into an SMSF. It's interesting time in the industry, the increased demand for SMSF advice is kind of colliding with the decrease in advice numbers or advisor numbers, limited advisor capacity. So there's a real opportunity, we think, for you to take on a greater role, offer potential or existing SMSF trustees more support, and the role that you play in that SMSF value chain, in our opinion, has never been greater. In terms of SMSF management, as I said, we've had a long-standing relationship with BGL, but a key focus of ours at the moment is around integration. Integration into both Simple Fund 360 and Simple Invest, with the aim of supporting you and other professionals to adopt smarter, more simplified and more efficient methods to in turn help your clients with their SMSF investing. We're enhancing our data feed into Simple Fund 360. That should be finalised by the time RegTech rolls around, or if not, then not long thereafter. This will give you more reporting into your back office systems, daily updates of your clients' cash and direct equity data. We're adding international equities to our domestic data feed. So if you think back to the earlier slide around asset allocation, particularly in our business, we're seeing an increase in the number of clients investing internationally, particularly in the US space, for greater diversification. Some of the big names and big brands that we associate with every day through our lives. So, adding international data feeds to our domestic data feed is a logical next step. We're also, or we'll be the first direct equity platform to add a contract note, a PDF contract note into our data feed. So that'll come through into Simple Fund 360, and that ties into the next point around supporting you with your compliance and your audit support. So I think late August, early September, we'll have that contract note service up and running, which will just come through as part of the data feed. And obviously all of this helps to save time, increase efficiencies, better serve your clients, reduce errors, and allow you to take on more clients and increase your business and your footprint. Before I hand to Roger for a quick overview of the platform, maybe just a couple of reasons why SMSF clients, and for that matter, any clients are kind of choosing Selfwealth for their equity investing. We were first to market with a flat fee brokerage model, so that hasn't changed over the last sort of nearly 10 years. All trades are capped at a flat $9.50 brokerage, regardless of the value of the trade. We've got some clients who trade $1,000, $5,000. We've got clients that trade in the millions. Whatever value you trade, the most you'll pay is $9.50. It's a flat fee, and there are no other fees or hidden costs as part of that. We have a team of dedicated relationship managers. Roger kind of leads up that team. Those relationship managers are here to provide personalised service and support, talking to you and all your clients, helping through the application process, helping with any trading questions. We don't have an advice licence. We can't give advice, but we do like to provide an extra layer of service and support, and a more personalised level of service and support to some of our peers. Security is a key focus of our business. I was impacted recently with the Qantas data breach. There's a lot of stories around that, whether it's Medibank and others, Optus last year. So 2FA, two-factor authentication, and we're beefing up our security in our platform. We run a CHESS registered or HIN-based model, so you and your clients are the legal and beneficial owners of all of your assets. You own everything, we don't, and Selfwealth have no right or call over your cash or your direct equities. And speaking of cash, we use ANZ Bank, so Big Four bank, for our cash settlement account. I've talked around the data feed integration with BGL. We think that's absolutely key, particularly in the work that we're doing with the accountant fraternity and SMSF administrators. We're all online, so our account opening process is all online. We electronically verify clients. We don't come back and ask for manual copies or paper forms. And I've touched on the access to various markets. So, both the ASX and US and Hong Kong exchanges, just to provide some more diversification and access to other investment classes. I'm going to hand the laptop, so to speak, over to Roger for the next little while. Roger's going to give a quick demo of the platform, and then we'll come back and wrap it up with Lily towards the end. So, Roger, over to you.
Thanks, Brendan. Can everybody hear me? Yes,
yep.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the exciting part of the presentation. Sorry, Brenda. I'm gonna show you not Brendan's head. I'm gonna try and share my screen now, and we're gonna have a look at starting off because we did say how it was an easy application. So everyone can see my screen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep, fantastic. All right, so let's have a look. I'll just minimize myself and we can have a look here. This is the home page, obviously. Nice and easy application process to start with. And obviously, I'm not going to take you through a whole application, but just to see, where to start, you can always assist your clients. I'm assuming that's what you might end up doing. So you can see my email address there. So if you do have any questions or concerns, you can always just give me an email there as well. There it is. Now we'll just put in a password test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if this works. Maybe. All right. So I can remember that. All right, and then create my account. All right, and it sends obviously a code which I need to go and get. We should just wait till that comes through. With any luck, it won't take too long. There we go, it's there. So you can just get that code. If that will work. Yep. And if I paste, yep. All right. Okay, so we're in now. Most of your clients will. We obviously can open up multiple account types. This presentation was obviously around SMSFs, right? So, but as you can see, you can open up an individual. You can open up individual and joint accounts for minors as well under the designation of the minor, but obviously entrust the parent or the guardian. SMSFs, trusts, and companies. Obviously, if it's an SMSF, you would choose whether the trustee is individual or corporate and continue on from there. Now, being an SMSF, they are regulated here in Australia, so we do have the other thing you really need to provide is a trust deed. The rest generally is, and it doesn't have to be certified as well, whereas with other trusts, you generally need to provide certified documents. But with SMSFs, because they're regulated here in Australia, just a trust deed is basically required. Most of the time, the individual's electronically verified, even though we give you a bit of a warning here, just in case you're not electronically verified. Once that application process is finished, it is once again, it's a very simple. A lot of the comments that I get from clients actually is around how simple the application process is, and not only that, but how simple and easy to use our platform is. Right, so it is a very sort of, once again, if I compare it to some of the other online brokers that I've used in the past and had a look at, they tend to have a lot going on, and I know a lot of the SMSF investors, the bigger, the larger money and the bigger SMSF investors certainly appreciate the simple nature of our platform and the ease of the use of our, the easy to use platform that we have, right? So this is a bit of a dashboard overview where you would see, your estimated earnings for every day, and this updates every 20 minutes. You've obviously got access to your portfolio. Here, you would see your shares be listed. You can see it get updated here. We do have, as a default, you get 20-minute data, 20-minute delayed data from the ASX, but we do have access on the platform to live streaming data as well, which actually allows you to get these updated. You can see I've got a switch here. So if I switch this on, I can get updates every 3 seconds. If I switch it off, I can get updates every 1 minute. All right. So, and that's just part of a premium service that we offer, which is relatively inexpensive once again, for most users that require live data. So it's very simple. Obviously, if you ever want to look up a stock, you can, to go and look it up, you just go to obviously the most popular CBA. It will show whether there's US ones based on what you're looking up, US stocks based on that as well as all the Australian ones listed, as well as Hong Kong. If there's anything listed, you can also type in the name of the company as well, right? And it'll come up with a Hong Kong or US listing HSBC, as you can see there. And you can just simply choose the stock that you want to purchase, obviously. Click. There's all sorts of things on the stock analysis page as well. Market's open, so you can see things are moving, obviously. Information around the company, forecast information. We have a premium feature which actually allows you access to like a really, really in-depth stock report, which is provided by information providers, LSEG. It used to be formerly known as Refinitiv. All the general stuff that you'd see on potentially other platforms are there as well. Financial period, financials over the last 10 years are there. Income statements, balance sheets, cash flow statements, all the data is there. You've also got news and announcements, and of course market depth, so you can see who's in the market at the moment, buyers and sellers. You can all see that. You can also see market depth, obviously, on the trading screen, or the order pad. We call it the order pad, obviously. We have great features on the order pad, such as like if you're going to sell, obviously you can put a condition in. We have stop loss orders, which just allows that extra layer of capital protection if the client chooses not to be in front of the screen, but allows them to put in a stop order and put it in the market should it hit that price, right? So it's just a really cool function of this platform. The other thing, obviously, you can see it's very easy to add US trading. There's a button here you can add US trading. There is a certain form you've got to fill out, tax form, which you generally have to fill out for US trading as well. But that's all can be done within the platform, as well as Hong Kong markets as well. The next thing I might want to show you that you and your clients might be interested in is obviously the reporting side of things. So I think I did see a bit of a question in there around reporting. So let's just have a quick look there. So if we go into reports here, you can see that we do provide all sorts of transactional reporting, such as cash account reporting. So all the debits and credits that are going in and out of your settlement account with us, the ANZ settlement account that Brendan mentioned before, obviously with a bank. All right. Now, and that's one of the reasons why our clients choose us as an online broker, actually. It's something that Brendan didn't mention, and I just want to mention here, it's one of the big reasons actually, is because we actually provide a segregated ANZ account where the client actually has their own a BSB number and their own account number, so a separate account number that's attached to their share trading account. So it's under the same name as their share trading account. So that's a lot of the other smaller brokers will have an account here in Australia, but they're generally pooled, so it's pooled funds. So we sort of pride ourselves on having the client have their own individual account there for their cash settlement account. You can do portfolio snapshots of any point in time of your portfolio, so you can see the end of day equities, balances, and cash. So that's great for end of year and start of year. End of financial year, start of year, financial year, and end of financial year balances. But that said, at the end of every financial year, we don't have any annual statements. This is just a demo account, by the way. This is not a real account. At the end of every financial year, we do provide annual statements, which has a consolidated view of all the reporting, including dividends that may have been paid to that client's account. Over the years, right? So movements will show all your buys and sells in that account, right? So movements show buys and sells, as well as transactions in and out, such as transfers in and out. It will show all those along with brokerage costs. You can see here's the fixed $9.50, and then you got your consideration in total. So it's all there for be able to download. Like if you need to download things in PDF. Being accountants, I'm sure you probably go through a lot of CSVs and Excel files, so you can download all these reports in CSV format as well. For your own analysis, obviously. Contract notes. I know Brendan mentioned that we're the first to go to market with BGL to have a contract note service go through the data feed, but if need be, all the transactional emails actually get sent to the client anyway. But if they need to go back and get them, they can certainly go and download them here within the platform. All right. So it's once again, a very easy and simple to use platform in that regards. The next part I did want to show you, which obviously BGL does make use of the data feeds that we can provide. So I just want to show you how easy it is for the client to turn on. Now, this is provided for all accounts as well. So it's simple as just going to the settings, going in under general, and then you can see there's a bit of a setting here. It says BGL settings. There's only one portfolio on this account under this registered email address. So you would simply just click enabled, and that's done for the client. Now, on the BGL side, there may be a couple of settings that you would have to set, obviously, which you would know. But other than that, within the next day, you're sort of receiving that cash and trade data feed going into BGL. So it makes life a lot easier, along with that contract note service going through as well. All right. So now, one of the beauties of our platform and one of the reasons why, once again, a lot of people, not only is it, I have to say, pride ourselves on our team as relationship managers because we feel like we are also investors and traders, so we know a lot about the markets and our platform. We've got a really experienced multi-year relationship manager service. So to be able to help our clients, go to that next level with the platform, sort of we pride ourselves on, right? But one of the reasons why a lot of clients want to consolidate from the big banks, potentially other online brokers, is not only that service, but the fact that they can view multiple portfolios under the one registered login, right? So that just makes it a lot easier for clients, and we find that a lot of clients not only love the $9.50 fixed fee cost, they also love the fact that they can just simply switch between portfolios. I've obviously got only one portfolio here. This is what it would look like with an application, but it's one portfolio there. It's nice and easy to switch. Okay, all right. I think that's sort of the general things around a platform such as watch lists are there. We do have a few extra bells and whistles which you might want to check out yourselves. I recommend, obviously, if you are going to recommend this to your clients, is that you can you sign up, even if you're not an equities trader, but you may have clients that do trade equities on their accounts. That I recommend you can sign up to the platform, and you can actually give them the ability to give them free trades, right? So 10 free trades just to get it started. And it's completely free to get started, right? It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't cost them anything, and you get 10 free trades as well if you refer them, right? So that's just via a special link here. Now I'll share a link. We'll share a link past this. Where you can also get 10 free trades as well, just to get started on the platform. As Brendan mentioned before, we probably don't promote this enough, to be honest, but one of the good things about our platform is as well, it started off as this social platform. So you can actually view and track people's, this is a demo account, but you can see top performers in the community if it's something that interests you or your clients, and you can actually track their portfolios and see when they're buying and selling and what they're holding, right? So one of the perks of our premium memberships is that as well. All right. I think I've gone to time. I think not too bad. What I'll do is I'll get Lily to share that link once again, which you can automatically get 10 free trades if you do want to check out the platform and to start off with. But other than that, I think I might hand back over to Brendan, who is going to hopefully give you an offer that you can't refuse. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rog. And yes, I am going to share an offer that hopefully you can't refuse. Hopefully you can see my screen. Self-Wealth back again with RegTech through the month of August. I think this is the second year in a row we've been at RegTech for a few years here and there over the last couple of years, but we're We're back again sponsoring RegTech. We're a gold sponsor. So myself and the team will be on the road at various locations. So please come and say hello, connect with the team, ask us any questions. We're here to help. What we are running as part of this webinar and also through the month of August at RegTech is a brokerage-free offer. So when all your clients transfer an ASX portfolio into Self-Wealth, the details are on the screen there. So $100,000 portfolio will give you 6 months worth of free brokerage, up to 50 trades. And a portfolio worth 250,000 or more will give you 12 months worth of free brokerage, up to 100 trades through that period. It's a great offer. Like Roger has touched on, our brokerage is quite competitive in any case, but really looking to support you and your clients and support BGL through the RegTech period. I've got a little QR code on the screen that. If it's okay, Lily, I might just leave for the next 15 or 20 seconds. If you scan that into your details, and one of my team will give you a call back straight away to have a chat, answer any questions you have, and hopefully help you and some of your clients set up a Self-Wealth trading account. So, Lily, I might, if it's okay, now hand back to you to sort of close things up, and I can see a bunch of questions on the question pad, so let you moderate. If that's okay.
Sure. Thank you so much, Brendan. A great demo by Roger and a great presentation by Brendan. Definitely an offer that you can't refuse. So please scan the QR code on the screen to take up that offer. We do have a lot of questions that came through, so we will go through as many as we can. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but we will do our best. Before we do that, I will go and share my screen just quickly. And I want to, just reiterate that our friends at Self-Wealth by Syfe are gold sponsors at this year's RegTech event. So they will have a stand at Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, Hobart, and Melbourne, all 7 cities that will be touring. Tickets are free. If you haven't got yours already, please scan the QR code on the screen and you can visit their stand to find out more. And of course, take advantage of enjoying the other sessions that are available. So questions that have come through, as I said, we've got a fair few of them. So I will tackle, there was a question that came through from a few different people. Basically, what is the process to transfer clients from other share trading platforms to yours?
Yeah, I might, Roger's on mute, so I might have a go at that one first, Lily. The process to transfer clients, and again, a bit of context, whether that's on our direct part of our platform or our advised, whether the clients are under an advisor, there's a few different options. We support bulk transitions, so picking up clients on other platforms and helping to bring those across to Self-Wealth, whether that's application support, client support, transfer forms. So we've got a process around bulk transition support. The process to move a portfolio for another broker is also quite simple and intuitive. Built into the application form is a question around a transfer of a portfolio. So you can either pick up a HIN, so the whole portfolio, you can pick up stocks. There's different ways of doing that, but quite a seamless process. There's no cost to do that. And whether it's our relationship managers for our sort of direct SMSF trustees or the BDM team that work with financial advisors, we're happy to support either way, in bulk or on a case-by-case basis, Lily.
Yep. We've got a few questions here from Wilson. So can Self-Wealth access India, Japan, Taiwan market to buy and sell shares?
It's a great question. We don't just at the time being. So our in terms of markets, it's obviously Australia, the US, and Hong Kong. You never say never with these things, and I think particularly within UATA and Syfe, given where they're based in that kind of Asian region, I think the opportunity for us to open up to more markets is very, very real. But as we sit here today, we don't have access to those exchanges.
Thanks, Brendan. With that answer, I think we've answered Mark's question. With, say, US shares, do you provide aftermarket buy and sell shares?
Rog, do you want to have a go at that one? US trading, pre-market?
Yeah, we do. We certainly have pre-market trading. Yep, exactly. It is available there. Yep. Yeah. There's another US one there if you want me to answer that as well.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
for it, Rog.
yeah.
Sorry, okay, so I
Yeah.
just see it here. It's quite loaded. And is that Mark as well? So can you provide an example of US share buy with the contract note buy note in USD settlement? How do you
I think that
handle?
might be a question we handle offline. Maybe and Mark, if you're up for it, we can have a phone call or take you through the process around the order pad and how that might look, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, but on a
Yeah,
basic level,
yeah,
but it is obviously we don't do transactional FX like trade FX settlements, right? It's just one FX. Yeah, once again, one FX from AUD to US dollars, and then you buy and sell in US dollars, right? And then when you need to go back to AUD, it goes from US dollars to AUD. So you're not. I think a lot of the banks and all that will do FX on every trade, right? So
yeah.
that's one of the benefits of trading US with us, US markets, and same with Hong Kong, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, so you're buying and selling, Mark, in local currency, whether it's Aussie or US or Hong Kong. Good.
And I think there was another one from Wilson. I think this was eventually answered in the demo. Does the contract notes attach to BGL transactions?
Yeah, they will do, Wilson. So we're kind of working through that feverishly now with the BGL team. So we hope to have that contract note service in time for RegTech, or if not, we're there not long after. Yep.
Okay, we've got, does the platform allow for issuer sponsored share recording?
The answer to that is no. We don't. We can't put issuer sponsored holdings on the platform. So just HIN. I mean, generally most people will just say opt to just convert it. It's reasonably easy. Within a day, you'll have your issuer sponsored converted onto your HIN, right? So it's easier to sell if needed, if necessary. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't list issuer sponsored shares on the platform.
We also did have another one that's a bit of a support question from Peter, so we might also take that one offline.
Is that about the feed with the new ANZ account? Yeah. So
That's
Peter, I
right.
think
Unless you want to answer that here.
no, we absolutely will take that off. We'll pick that up for you,
Perfect.
Peter. I think you either deal with maybe Roger or Julian from the team anyhow. So we'll follow that up this morning with our team and with BGL, and we'll come back to Peter. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else? Thank you, Tracy. She said that. Thank you. Looks like a great platform. And
I can see that Peter Morris had a couple of great questions from Peter around the platform. So do you want us to tackle those? Have we got time, Lily, or how we
you've
going?
got time. Yeah, go for it.
Maybe if we just sort of go in order a little bit, why shouldn't the SMSF use an online broker like CommSec? Well, a lot of them still do. So CommSec have, I don't know, circa 50% of the market. Big name, big brand. They've got a lot of legacy clients. We're here to try and disrupt that and take some of their clients off them. We've touched on the more competitive brokerage, which kind of dovetails into your second question, Peter, about are our fees higher than other online brokers? A flat $9.50 brokerage is quite competitive. There are other online brokers with cheaper fees, but in some cases you kind of and look, there's a lot of great platforms, so don't get me wrong, but you kind of get what you pay for in some respects. Yes, they offer files. We're going down that path of integration. So the whole API and direct into BGL, we think is a more efficient and streamlined way to do that. How do you charge on trades or percentage of funds balance? That is a feature or an option through our advisor platform. So financial advisors who set up accounts for their direct equity clients, they can dial up or add a fee, either a flat dollar or percentage over and above the brokerage. So Peter, happy to have a chat about that at some stage or connect with you somehow to explain how that works. But that is a possibility on our advisor platform for sure.
Yeah, I think we forgot to mention also that a lot of the other online brokers, after a certain dollar amount, $20,000, $30,000, are a percentage based anyway, right? So you might get a $3 brokerage up to a certain amount, but a lot of the bigger clients, they're not doing $5,000, they're doing 20, 30,000. So it's going to cost them more than $9.50. A lot of people come to us because they know how much they're going to pay every single time, right? It's just fixed $9.50. Very simple to account for that. Yeah, there's one around premium costs. And
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
It's $240 a year or $29 a month is the premium membership. But I'm sure we can always work things out there as well and potentially support our clients there. Right, so.
Yeah, same with the streaming costs. Again, Peter, we can help you on that one. We can enable live streaming on your account if you've got one or want to have one. That'd be great. But yeah, we can help with live streaming. We pay that cost, so we have to pass some of that back onto clients. But like I said, we're happy to work out with that, how that might work for you.
Great, thank you so much. There are a few more questions that we probably won't get enough time to go through. However, we do receive a report of all of these. So we will get back to you at some stage. And as I said, Self-Wealth by Syfe will be at RegTech. So if you want to visit their stand, ask your questions in person. And yeah, I want to thank Brendan again and Roger once again for joining me today. It's been a great webinar and a great Q&A session. I really appreciate everybody online for joining us, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Lily. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.